In my case, a happy moment for most people. Changing a diaper, in my case, I don't consider it to be very happy, but maybe you have a different opinion. Think about this so we can share in class. Great. Now, what do you consider the events that you chose as happy that way? We're going to discuss in class. Now, what is the meaning of these words? I had to work all night, but it paid off. The project is amazing. Oh my gosh, I hope you're better. Is it true that clams have pearls inside? Exams are all over, and I can finally relax a little. She needs to make the most of the course if she wants to get that promotion. Okay? Please find out the meaning of these words before your class so we can use them. All over, be going on, clam, dig, gosh, make the most of, pay off, and your thing. Remember, you can look for a synonym or a simple definition. Okay, let's continue. Now, we'll talk about happy moments gone wrong. So, let's go to student book page 97, exercise 3A. Here, we're going to listen to 3 people talk about some of their happy moments that went wrong. Please number the 3 topics that they talk about. Let's listen.
Page 97. 3. Listening and speaking. Happy moments gone wrong. A. Listen to 3 people talk about moments that went wrong. Number the topics 1 through 3. There are 3 extra topics. 1. Jose.
Yeah, looking back, it was hilarious. There we were on stage, standing in line, waiting, and they're calling out our names one by one.
Right.
And then it was my friend Marcus's turn. He was right in front of me, and the dean stood there with the diploma, shaking his hand and congratulating him.
Uh-huh.
And he was so excited, to finally get his degree, and he turned around to face the audience, looking for his parents, but he couldn't see them. And I remember thinking, come on, Marcus, it's my turn. And he turns back around and walks right into the table, and all the diplomas went all over the floor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, great. This is like my big moment, and you've messed it up.
So what happened?
I just stood there not knowing what to do, and everyone was on the floor trying to pick up the diplomas. It was a disaster.
2. Chohee.
So, we're in this little restaurant having a romantic dinner. And I kind of knew something was going to happen because my boyfriend had been acting kind of weird all day.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then the waiter came over, bringing a dessert with this sparkly thing. You know, like those little firework things going off. And I thought, it must be someone's birthday. But he put it on our table. And Freddie was looking around in his pockets, and he says, I have something to ask you.
Yeah?
Then his face sort of turned white, He couldn't find what he was looking for.
No.
Yeah. And by this time, the sparkly thing had burned out, and everyone's looking at us, waiting for something to happen. It was kind of embarrassing.
So what did he do?
He goes, just a minute, and disappears to find his coat. And he comes back totally red in the face, apologizing. He was so embarrassed. Poor thing. It was supposed to be like the happiest moment.
3. Katie.
We were just so excited, We hadn't been able to afford anything for ages, and we'd made all our reservations and everything, and finally, we were there.
Yeah?
And we opened the door and stood there, not believing what we saw. It was just awful. Old carpet and everything. And it didn't look too clean either.
Oh, I know how that feels.
Then, a cockroach ran across the floor, and I just screamed.
Oh, no. That's awful. So what did you do?
I just stood there, crying. I just wanted to get back on the plane and fly home.
I bet.
And I'm thinking, all that money. But my husband complained to the manager, and in the end, we just moved to another hotel. And it was way better. And it all turned out fine.
Thank goodness.
So if you notice, the first story is about a graduation ceremony. The second one is a marriage proposal. And the third one is a dream vacation. Okay, now I want you to please read the first memory about the graduation. And what do you think about it? Pause the video while you read. Okay, we're going to share our opinions in class. Now, what is the special of this text? What structure is constantly repeated? If you notice, the structure that we repeated the most was ing, right? Looking back, standing, shaking, congratulating, looking for, thinking, not knowing, and trying. Today, we're talking about ing forms and how to use them. So, we can use ing forms to reduce a relative clause, to describe an event that happens at the same time as another event, or as the subject or object of a verb. Let's take a look at this. So, to reduce a relative clause, there were some people who were standing in line. There were some people standing in line. If you notice, I am simply removing my relative pronoun who and verb to be, and just using the ing form. Now, you can also describe an event that happens at the same time as another event. And the dean stood there with a diploma, shaking his hand and congratulating him. If you notice, there are three actions that happen at the same time. The dean stood there, but at the same time, he was shaking the boy's hand, and at the same time, he was saying congratulations. That's why we're using ing. Okay, then an ing form can be the subject of a verb. Being successful feels good. Now, it can also be the object of a verb. I remember thinking, come on, Marcus, it's my turn. If you notice here, being is the subject and feels is the object of this verb. And in the other way, I remember thinking, thinking is what I remember. Okay, great, let's continue. Now, let's read these sentences. Are they correct or not? The girl jumping the rope is my cousin. This one, of course, is correct. I've got many reports penned. No, it's not correct. He would do his homework, listening to music and eating pizza. That's correct. My happiest memory is travel by myself for the first time. Not correct. Now, pause the video and correct the two sentences we marked as incorrect. Okay, we're going to check in class. Now, let's go to student book page 68, exercise A. Here, we need to identify if the ing in each sentence is a reduced relative clause, if it is an event that happens at the same time as another event, the subject or object of a verb. Let's see number 1. I enjoyed my time in high school, studying lots of different subjects. In this case, this is at the same time, because you were in high school and at the same time you were studying a lot of different subjects. Number 2, I will never forget walking out of my last high school class. In this case, this is the object, because what you will not forget is walking out of the class. Now pause the video and work on the rest. Okay, number 3. I left that class with tears in my eyes, feeling sad that it was all over. This is at the same time. I have so many friends trying to find jobs with high salaries. This is a reduced clause. I have so many friends who are trying. But my philosophy is that making a lot of money isn't everything. In this case, this is the subject, right? Making a lot of money isn't everything. Some of the people I know working in banks are miserable. This is a reduced clause. Some of the people I know who are working in banks. Did you get this right? Excellent. Let's continue. Now, please go to workbook page 68, exercise B. Here, you're going to use an ing form to rewrite the underlined parts in these anecdotes. Let's do the first two. My happiest moment in life so far. Michael. Probably my happiest moment was getting my grades for my last year of college. I remember watching the mail carrier as he walked toward our mailbox. Now pause the video and work on the rest, please. Okay, we're going to check this during our class. I will see you then. Bye-bye!